did this one, traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight, with a pack in hand and a story that bites. Old paper, new spark, name on the card, from basement deals to a full-on star. Collected and connected, collected and connected, trading the truth.
Hey, what's up? Jonathan Fink, Sports Card Collectors Club, and this is the Card Life Chronicles podcast. Tonight we're going to rip 2026 Topps Chrome VeeFriends Series 2. As you know, I was very late to the whole non-sports card hobby, and better late than never. The gateway for me was Gary Vee and introducing me to VeeFriends. VeeFriends led to Pokemon, and the rest is history. So I've been stockpiling this stuff since it went on sale. It's the wave has kind of come and gone. You'll see this stuff in stores still, but it's still very, very overpriced. So there's still some inventory to rip. I bought all this stuff at MSRP from Dick's Sporting Goods and all the local card shops, and just haven't gotten around to rip it. And now I'm trying to clear the decks. I'm trying to get rid of all my inventory. We just did a mega basketball 2026 Topps Chrome update rip the other night, and now we're gonna rip all my VeeFriends. And then once we clear the decks, we can get back into what this TV show, this podcast, this YouTube channel was really designed for, the Card Life Chronicles, which is documenting all the packs and boxes that I'm going to rip for the Card Life Volume 3 of my book series, Sports Card Collectors Club. So as you know, it was Volume 1, which led to this podcast, of course, and then Volume 2, that comes out on December 1st, called The Flip Life. And there's lots of different stories through that book, but one of the main themes was that I rip a lot of packs and share those stories, just like how you watch people rip wax on YouTube. But I just do it in literary form. But I regretted, despite all the wonderful adventures and all the great cards, and I of course have pictures in the back of the book of all the big hits. But I regretted I didn't do it on video. So this time I'm going to document the whole experience. So I have a whole chronology and storyline laid out in my other room of all the different products, and weave it into a very interesting narrative story. And I think it'll be a lot of fun for people to read, and it'll be a lot of fun for me to write. And I'm going to share the whole experience with you guys, with videos. So as always, we'll let the chat fill up with some people, and then we'll do a mega rip session and rip through all this stuff. So thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And we're going to have a lot of fun ripping VeeFriends, my favorite non-sports card product. All right, we'll give a few minutes for the chat to fill up, and then we'll have some fun and rip some packs. You guys take care. Back soon. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. All right, guys. So here's the inventory. We got 5 blasters, 4 megas, and we're gonna rip them all. This will be my last kind of mega rip session where we're just gonna rip until it's all gone. But I'm definitely not done with VeeFriends. In fact, as I start getting into the card life content for the book, you'll see that I feature VeeFriends, and it'll show up on 3 different rip sessions. So don't worry, plenty more VeeFriends to come, and different stuff. It won't just be. There will be a series 2 appearance, but there'll be some other stuff too. I'll leave that for a surprise. Let me get my phone set up for the second camera, and then we'll get started. And I'll do a quick little intro first. So yeah, 8 people in the chat. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you guys love VeeFriends and you're gonna enjoy this rip, or you at least love hanging out with me, and that's good too. If you're not familiar with VeeFriends, this will be a really, really good, base course 101 introduction. We'll really take our time. We'll really enjoy this rip all the way through. All right. So I got the glass for the big hits, but I'm very, very limited right now because I've been doing a PC called the Lost Franchises. I don't know if you've seen on my Sports Card Collectors Club channel. I've been slowing down my publishing. I've published, gosh, now 16 books since 2018. So it's been a lot. It's probably too much at one time, kind of cannibalizing my own sales and not letting my readers digest each book before the next one comes out. But I've been very prolific because I've just had this need to share my stories. But now I'm at a point now where I have enough stories. I can do this for a long, long time. But I'm going to put out books twice a year, every summer and every Christmas time. And so the Pokemon Gods Are Real, that book is coming out on September 15th, already on pre-sale, already #1 on new releases. So thank everyone so much for the support for pre-ordering that book. But then, of course, on December 1st, the Flip Life Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 2 comes out. And then after that, that's when I start doing my 6-month rotation. And I do already know what book I'm going to be producing, releasing in July 11th, 2027. I'll be putting out my book, The Basketball Gods Are Real. That book I actually wrote during the pandemic. And then after getting totally mesmerized by NBA Top Shot and the Summer League and my trip to Vegas, I knew it was time to get that manuscript out and update it. I've been collecting articles and stories, and I have refreshed it. And now I'm back to just the grind of editing it every day. I read it every day. 15 minutes in the sauna, 10 minutes on a walk, and 20 minutes at my lunch. Wandering around my basement, just constantly reading it over and over again. Because when I find a mistake, I'll make an edit. Then you got to read it again because you might make a mistake making the edit. So it's just kind of a labor-intensive process, but I do it because it's the right thing to do. I mean, look, John Grisham could put out books with mistakes, and so I've definitely put out books with mistakes in the past, and it churns my stomach when I do. So I try my best to make sure that those books are perfect. So I'm dealing with it. Anyway, the reason I don't have a lot of glass is because I've been doing this fun thing. Now I have more time with slowing down my publishing process. I have more time to do social media. I'm now hosting, of course, the Chronicles, and then, of course, oh, by the way, my flagship podcast every other Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, the Sports Card Collectors Club podcast. It's kind of like Hot Ones, right? Where instead of eating hot wings, we open packs. And tomorrow night, I have Kayla Bear. She is an amazing super collector, Cleveland Indians season ticket holder, and she is just a lot of fun. And I discovered her after I discovered her on Tops. Tops did a feature on her, and I started following her on Instagram. And then I was booked all the way through fall. Then I had a couple of things open up and whatever, and so I had to kind of fill some opportunities. And literally, the universe had sent me the sign. I know that Michaela, super collects certain players like Stephen Kwan, but also she loves the pink cards. And so I'm constantly, going through my inventory for cards to flip or cards just to give away for free, whatever. And these are all the cards I started coming across. So of course I haven't flipped or sold any of them. I'm keeping them to show Michaela because this is how the sports card gods sent me signed. It's kind of like in the Harry Potter movie when like Harry gets invited to Hogwarts and his caretakers keep blocking the letters from arriving, but the letters keep coming. So I kept getting these signs from the universe, and so finally I was like, I knew it. I gotta just give her a text on Instagram and invite her, and she said yes. I'm thrilled. And then of course there's her boy Stephen Kwan. So yeah, so she's totally awesome, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. Anyway, but I've also been having fun playing video games because I've loved. Look, I'm 52 years old. You know, you could say I'm too old for video games, but I've always loved video games ever since I was a little kid. I was around for Atari, for Pong. So I was around. I'm an OG. I'm around since the first video games. I grew up where arcade games were commonplace at birthday parties, Chuck E. Cheese, all that stuff. And so I've played video games all the way through college, through business school, through parenthood. Even got to the point where my kids, were able to play. I was playing video games with them for years, playing against my son. I'll be the show and having so much fun. And then I got really into writing. And the truth is, over the last 10 years, I've played. I always will buy like the new the show. I'll buy the new Madden every year, and I'm always like, why do I do it? Because I play it for like one night, and then I'm back to writing. I'm back to editing. I've been so obsessed with that process. And so now that I'm slowing things down, I'm trying to enjoy my life, smell the roses, take some pressure off, and also just take the pressure off from the publishing process. I don't want my books coming out so soon that they kind of like step over each other. I want to let every new release get its chance to kind of breathe and have its moment in the spotlight, that kind of thing. Which I think makes sense. Because I'm in no rush. I can still write the books now and just put them in the can and have them on pre-sale, but I'll release them every 6 months. Well, anyway, so the point is, I'm back to playing video games, and I'm not playing a ton, but I'll if I'm editing all day, or even when I'm doing my Monday management stuff, the market's closed at 3, and so then I'll do a couple of chapters, and then I'll like get bored, I need to take a break, and I'll need to get bored, and I'll shake things up, and I'll go play a game. And so I have a couple of different things going. I'm playing a college football league, which is based on my Spirits of the Gridiron fictional novel with Simpson College and the promotion relegation college football league that I created there. Great book. Go check it out. And then, of course, I have a MLB The Show series called Republic Baseball League where I recreated the Wichita Crows, and I'm actually trying to use all the players that I feature in the book. Of course, a lot of those players don't get featured until Volume 3, which just came out on July 4th this year. So that series, that trilogy is complete. So you can read the whole thing. I'm actually creating an audiobook right now. I've been putting it out for free on there is an ebook and an audiobook paid, but now I'm actually putting out one for free on YouTube on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out and listen to it to me. It's my voice, whatever, and you can listen to me on your walk or driving to work or going to sleep, whatever. But I wanted to just share those stories with the world in a new way. Not everyone can afford my books. Not everyone's in a place in the world where you can get an ebook, whatever. I wanted to do it. It's just kind of like kind of good karma thing. Well, anyway, I also doing more stuff with social media that's related to sports cards because when I'm playing these video games, it's related to sports cards. At least with my NBA game and my RBL games, I'm collecting the cards of the players that I'm using. So just for example, when I play a new game and I do a post, I'll then show a new card. So I'm going to give you a sneak preview. So the point is, all the cards have already been displayed. They're all in glass cases and they're all up on my counter over there. And it's getting to be a big collection. I might have to figure out a way to put into a binder to get them out of the glasses. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But these are all the cards that have come in the mail recently or I've pulled recently that were related to it that I'll soon be debuting. So before I get into VeeFriends, just real quick. My favorite player growing up as a kid was Dominique Wilkins, and I've used him like Magic Johnson. He's been my starting point guard. I moved him to small forward, late in the game. My starting small forward is Dale Ellis, and he just put up 40 points with 5-minute quarters, by the way, on NBA 2K26 during the Rising Stars game where it was rookies against sophomores, and I controlled the rookies, and I just gave him the ball every time, and he just lit the world up. Mike Dunleavy was the first free agent guy I signed. I picked him up as a free agent after my first game. He's kind of like my sixth man, him, and then arguably Craig Hodges. And the best part is this, guys. We're in this hobby right now where prices are at all-time highs, and there's this huge emphasis on the hobby being about investing and flipping rather than collecting. And, collecting, you can make a lot of money collecting valuable things, but my point is that the investing community, it's all about spending lots of money to make more money. And look, we've had a rising bull market, prices have been rising, so that's been a winning, fun strategy. But Warren Buffett says, when the tide pulls out, you'll find out who's not wearing a bathing suit. So no bull market will last forever. Michael Rubin, Gary Vee, people like me, Professor Sports Cards are all warning that the market's at an all-time high and a correction could be coming. It's happened to Bitcoin. It's happening now to the bond market. Happened to silver and gold. So anyway, the point is, you don't have to spend lots of money to enjoy this hobby. You can build collections. I mean, this card cost me $1 and then like $1.32 to send in the mail. Most of these cards only cost me $1. I've never spent more than $5 in this collection per card, and it's really fun to curate because you can look through the different years and stuff like that. Here's another Dale Ellis. He's been played for a lot of different teams. He's with the Seattle Sonics. So the Sonics are in the game because they're one of the original franchises. But when it's time for them to move to Oklahoma, they won't move. And San Diego's not going to go to the Clippers. Kansas City's not going to go to Sacramento. And then in the second year, when the software, the video game allowed you in 1994, the lost franchises return. Six teams are coming back, like the Buffalo Braves, the New Jersey Americans, the Syracuse Nationals. I think the who else? There like those kind of teams. And we'll see who gets to draft Michael Jordan. We'll see what the future of the league goes through. But anyway, yeah, Craig Hodges. He hasn't been very good yet. He's been coming off my bench. He's kind of like my 7th or 8th guy on the team on the roster. There's Dominique again with a nice slam. Dominique, I'm finally figured out how to use Dominique Wilkins because he cannot shoot 3-pointers, but he knows how to pick and roll and he can dunk, man. So I just use him driving to the hoop constantly. This one still needs to be taken out of its top loader. That's another Dale Ellis. Yeah, and I buy the cards based on kind of like how they influence me. If they've been playing really well. John Sundvold is another 3-point shooter. He's had a few really big games. In 1993, the announcers talk about how the 3-point rule I think is only 3 years old, and I got John Sundvold and Dale Ellis on my wings with Dominique. And when Dominique is in the groove, he's doing a lot of pick and roll with Tree Rollins, my center. But when it's time for Dominique to get a breather, I just run set plays for John Sundvold and Dale Ellis to drain threes, and they've been delivering. It's Craig Hodges. So I haven't mentioned my power forward. He has not played a huge role yet in the team. He actually got injured in the sim, and he was out for a period of time. But he's a Grateful Deadhead, which is awesome. Rest in peace, Bill Walton. This is a really cool card from the 70s. Another one of Dominique. Speaking of Wayne Tree Rollins, so I'm building a 1986 Flair set. I have a chapter about that in my first book, Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 1. And then there'll be another chapter to kind of tie the ribbon and bring it all full circle in the Card Life Volume 3. But this card I actually already own because I've been building this set. That's Tree Rollins. Here's another one. This is one of the modern Bill Walton cards, but it's pretty dope. Look at that sweet card of Bill Walton. Then I pulled this out of a pack. I don't have Anthony Bonner on my team, but it's the Kansas City Kings, which of course are not around anymore. But it's really fun to open the old stuff because then you pull Kansas City Kings. It's a shame. I didn't grow up here. I moved here in 2012. It's a shame that we don't have a team. It's a shame, even more of a shame that we've had a team and we lost a team. I worked in business school. I have an MBA from UMKC, which is why Professor Kevin Dempsey goes to UMKC and is a professor there. Here's John Stalfeld on-card auto. I think I bought that for like maybe $5. And then Dominique All-Star Game. So those are all the cards. I lost my train of thought what I was going to talk about there, but enough talk about basketball. That should be for another day. But I did want to share how the point is, maybe I've bought 30 cards, not even probably, but that's $60. So you can do a lot of fun stuff with sports cards that does not require you to spend a lot of money. That was my point. All right. In the meantime, let's get ready. Let's rip some packs. So if you watch my other streams where I've ripped a lot of VeeFriends, you know that there's definitely a difference between the blaster / value boxes and the mega boxes. In Series 1 Topps Chrome, there was only hobby and blasters. They didn't have megas, and the blasters were absolutely loaded. They had an exclusive 101 Blast-Off set, and I actually pulled a 101 card that sold for $2,000. So, for all you haters out there, you have to understand that people who love VeeFriends really freaking love VeeFriends, and the big cards have gone for big money. In fact, the 101 Black Cat Superfractor went for $132,000. So, I mean, people can hate all they want, but they're missing out. And as you'll soon see, they're missing out not just because there actually is money to be made and because there's a very small print run. And so your chance of pulling numbered cards and really cool short prints is high or higher than traditional products. You'll see that every card, even a base card, there is wisdom to share, and it's just really brilliant stuff. So check this out. Amiable Anchovy thrives in groups, opening relationships and doors that Forest never could. Magnanimous Maltese. Being noble, generous, and forgiving is a long-term power move. So, exclusive to the blaster is the Yellow Refractor, Zealous Zombie. Even the bad guys are adorable and have redeeming qualities. Competitive advantage, keeps moving no matter what falls off. Honorable Ohm. Lives by their values, not by attention or reward. All right. If you're keeping score at home, first pack was a bust. That's all right. Let's keep going. 13 in the chat. Thank you to each and every one of you. I appreciate you very much. Arbitraging admirable. Competitive advantage. Spots undervalued opportunities before the rest of the world catches on. I have a chapter about Gary Vee in Volume 1 called The Prophet, because he totally predicted the sports car boom that eventually happened. And then, of course, I feature him in the Flip Life Volume 2, and I dedicate the book to him, by the way, because he basically predicted the non-sports car boom, which has totally manifested as well. Now, look, Pokemon was already kind of huge, but a lot of other things have happened. Look at Power World and One Piece and, Magic, The Gathering. The whole non-sports car world is TCG's blown up. Mink leads the way in innovation, agility, and seizing new opportunities. Be the bigger person, Yellow Refractor. Understands having compassion and empathy for others is the greatest comeback when they expect you to be nasty. So this is the kind of product where, like, if you're someone's aunt and uncle, what a great gift for a kid for his birthday, of all ages. And I can't wait to be a grandparent and like have my grandkids come over for like sleepovers, and then Grandpa's gonna have some pack strip, and we're gonna rip open packs. And when my kid opens up the YOLO Yak, the grandkid will say, "Hey, Grandpa, what does that mean?" And I'll say, "Well, that's about the ability to seize the present moment and which gives opportunities that others miss." And they'll be like, "Huh." And then you're planting seeds of wisdom, and you're building character, you're building integrity, you're building conviction, you're building empathy, you're building tenacity, competitiveness. Boss Bobcat knows that you work for everyone as a leader, not the other way around. Perspective Pigeon. Choose half glass full, knowing that in life you find what you're looking for. This is an important one. Caring Camel. Imagine having a kindergarten kid open this pack and pull this one. Always gets over the hump. Competitive Clown. Cares about winning and losing, so gives 110% in everything he wants to win. All right, bust, but not really. So the sentimental value, the knowledge, the wisdom, it's awesome. And by the way, not just for the kids, it's for adults. We all can be reminded of these important character traits. Prudent Polar Bear. Avoids burnout by thinking ahead and saving energy for what matters most. Consistent Cougar. Actually enjoys what he's doing, making consistency part of his happiness. Sharing Squirrel. Shares not just things, but also support and encouragement. Sensible Sommelier. Instantly knows what's a perfect fit and what needs more time to grow. All right. So far, we're busting out, but we got plenty of packs to go. So much fun stuff will follow. Empathy Elephant goes beyond listening to others, turns understanding others into a win-win outcome. Tenacious Termite wins by taking small bites that add up to big results. Headstrong Honey Badger digs in under pressure and keeps going when others quit. Charming Cheetah sprints into anyone's heart with wit and charm. So I'd like to believe that every blaster is going to have some kind of like flip life resale value. We got 3 packs to go. We'll find out. So far, it's been a bust. Forthright Flamingo. Speaks honestly and early, preventing bigger problems later. Yeah, Mark Twain once said, when you're honest, you don't have to remember anything in your entire life, right? Because when you lie, you got to like make this stuff up and remember who you told what lie to. Just be honest. It's such a healthy way to live, mentally and physically. I think people who lie have a lot of stress in their life. Tranquil Toad, a calm presence that creates total control, enabling better, steadier decisions. Organized Ostrich, makes things easier for everyone by setting things up once the right way. Radical Rabbit, leaps over obstacles with bold confidence and 80s cool. All right, cute cards. Bust packs, 2 to go. Blaster number 1. We'll do a mega next. Grateful Gar, stays grounded by appreciating what they have instead of chasing what they don't. Well-connected Werewolf, thrives by building deep connection and uniting the right people together. So, Series 1, it was the Daring Dragonfly. I know this because I pulled a artist sketch of Daring Dragonfly. Now they call it the Dedicated Dragonfly, which is still fun by me. This is the manga design. It's my favorite, I think. We finally got a piece for the glass. So maybe not expensive card, $2, $3, $5, $10 the most for the favorite characters. But I think just from like an artist design perspective, this is just a really beautiful card. Shows up consistently, even when the excitement wears off. And Befuddled Burglar, fumbles every escape, but uses the surprise to learn something each time. Super cute. All right, so we got 1 card that's worthy of the gallery. Got 1 pack to go from the first blaster. Shout out to everyone who's here today. Thank you for joining me. Drop something in the chat. Let me know your favorite VeeFriends character or what's your favorite character you've seen so far. Let me know you're out there enjoying the stream. Here's the Hot Shot Hornet. Never hesitate to take the shot. Also, please leave a like. Please subscribe. Thank you. You're going to die, Fly. Competitive advantage. Flies through life knowing that tomorrow isn't promised. Productive Puffin. Today's lesson. Do what makes you happy. Productive Puffin teaches that the best kind of getting things done is choosing activities you enjoy. When you start with something that makes you smile, the next steps feel easier and way more fun. Passionate Parrot. Uses passion to fuel hard work, and hard work is how good stuff happens. All right, that was the first blaster in the books. Okay, so my doggy is he came in, but he's not like just chilling. He's like sitting at attention, so he might want something. I'm gonna put on this loop that Paulie made for me, which hopefully you guys will enjoy, and I'll see if my dog needs to go outside. I'll be right back, guys. Thanks for your patience. God bless. Hold on.
This month, we have some great sports card stories from across the U.S. and talk to an author from nearby Leawood, Kansas, who has written a book about returning to collecting after 3 decades away.
My day job is I'm a financial advisor, so I've been investing for over 20 years. In a way to express my love for the hobby, I decided, what if I write an investment book, Sports Card Collectors Club, and treat the stock market the same way I would treat the card market. And so I thought, well, how would a day trader invest in cards? How would a venture capitalist buy and sell cards? How would a hedge fund do it? As I would go through my trials and tribulations, I realized that for as much fun as I was having investing, there was something missing. And one day I was watching the Royals game on television, and it was a rain delay. And the Card Life television show came on. I was watching that episode, I was watching Matt Strom open cards and rip packs, and I started getting the warm, fuzzy feeling. I said, this is what I want to be doing. I want to get back to really collecting and ripping cards and building sets. And that's where the story of my book has a change. I go from investing back to collecting.
I'll also open a variety of boxes from different sports. So he hit the home run off me in like the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, JT hit a double, so he's standing on second. And Mason Wynn asked him, he's like, hey JT, he's like, I heard Strom collects cards of guys that take him deep. He's like, does that mean he's gonna send me over a couple cards to sign tomorrow? And after the game, we had won. I mean, winning is the only thing that's important to me. So it's like, I was good after the game, whatever, and JT comes up to me and he's like, hey Stromy, he was really genuine. Like he wasn't taking shots. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, when I got to second, Mason asked if you're gonna send a card over for him.
I'm just looking around my basement here, just walls covered with concert posters and toys, and just like, I have no intention of selling these things. I collect because I want to show off the things I love and do it in fun ways. And it just never crossed my mind that, hey, I'm going to go buy this thing just so I can resell it. Like that to me isn't a pure collector mentality. And obviously things change and times change. And, in order for things to survive right now, you have to have that sort of chase for something valuable.
Yeah, it needs to be a circus. You know what? The truth is, I actually watched the live stream on eBay Live with Ken Golden and Logan Paul. They ripped a box of 86 Flair and a box of Series 1 Pokemon. And you know what? It was very entertaining. They're both polarizing characters. I thought it was entertaining. But you know what? After every pull, they immediately are showing the value. And it begs the question, are we creating, not we, is the industry creating a gambling culture which has a real downside?
It already has. Right. Not created. It's here.
Yeah, and
that's
a concern. I guess for me, I hope to be an influence where we focus more on collecting, because you know what, when markets crash, collectors don't get hurt at all. Because the Sandy Koufax you bought that because it makes you feel good. It brings back good memories.
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight.
You have created community, so let's talk about that. I went to Rip Night at your shop. Let's rip another pack. And I went to your Rip Night 2 years ago. And it was one of the best. I wrote about it in volume 1. It was one of the best times I've ever had. You guys had this giant scoreboard where you had the chase cards, and everyone can buy whatever product you wanted, like buy 3, get 1 free, whatever product, whatever it was. You then, if you pull a Bronny James, you then get another blaster. Or I pulled a Reed Shepherd auto, and then I got a free T-shirt. And I sat around the table with strangers and had the best time ever. So let's talk about how important community is. And what you guys do is provide an anchor for community in our town. How important that is.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, one of our taglines, we say we'll make an offer on anything, but like you said, I mean, we got to pay what it's worth, and so if it's junk wax, it's going to be junk wax prices, which unfortunately, a lot of people end up thinking that their 87 Topps Barry Bonds is going to be a couple $100 or something.
It's worth nothing, people. All right, I'm back. Hopefully my dog is good to go. He might come back. We'll see. Hopefully, I used to have his bed set up here. My wife brought it back upstairs, but hopefully he'll come back and just hang out. Let's talk Megabox. So Megabox was new for Series 2. A new SKU, as they call it in the business world. I think it was a reflection of a larger print run, for sure. But also, Megabox has been very popular in the hobby. Typically, Mojo refractors come in like the Topps Chrome Megaboxes and stuff like that. They do have special things in the Megabox. In fact, one of the really cool inserts, one of my favorites, is the Mega Head. And you'll see one tonight because there's guaranteed to be one in every box. And it's one of my favorite designs. Probably second to the manga is probably the Mega Head. And you'll also see other parallels in the Mega that you don't see typically in the value box blaster. You don't see the Extractor. You don't see the Ray Wave. Those are typical Topps Chrome patterns that you see in like Topps Chrome football, Topps Chrome basketball. So yeah, you'll see those too. So I feel like with the Mega Box, first of all, 7 cards per pack instead of 4, which I love. which is a much more satisfying rip in my opinion. But I feel like there's a higher floor, lower ceiling, because the 101s are all in the blasters, and I don't know if you can pull it a 101 or an artist sketch or anything crazy like that in a mega. You certainly can pull number cards. I definitely have done that. So let's see how we do in our first one. Persistent Penguin. Keeps moving forward no matter the conditions, surviving the cold, the storms, and the slow days. So I've built many Twitter accounts. I've built Instagram, TikTok very recently. Had a lot of success with TikTok. YouTube's been slow going. I think I have 76 followers. My buddy Professor Sports Cards, who's going to be on my show in a few weeks, I think he just passed 10,000, which is insane. Congrats to him, by the way. But you gotta be persistent, to build something. You can't just do something a couple times and hope think it's gonna work. You can't quit. You gotta keep going. And so I've been doing that and finding new ways to add more content to my channel. I think maybe the algorithm is confused because I named it the Sports Card Collectors Club, and I'm doing video games. I'm doing pack openings. I'm doing my podcast. Now I'm doing audiobooks. So I think the algorithm might be a little confused, but whatever. It's okay. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, and whatever happens, happens. Dedicated Dragonfly. Shows up consistently, even when the excitement wears off. Yeah, we read that earlier. Steadfast Snake. Every pursuit is followed through until the job is done. And holy moly, look at this one. Wow. It's rare. It's really rare, guys, to pull it out of 10. Wild Wallaby jumps head-on into every challenge and uses its agility to change direction faster than anyone else. Black. Interesting. It's got some sparkle. That will go in the glass for sure. And then right after that, boom, the Mega Head, the Kind Warrior. That's the thing about packs, I'd say 85-90% of packs you open are worthless, disappointing, But in that 15%, sometimes you get some really cool packs. All right, no description there. Sentimental Salamander. Keeps memories close, not to live in the past, but to stay connected to what matters when life moves fast. And then Enamored Emu. Does everything with a full heart of love, making others feel it too. So I have to be conservative with the glass tonight because I don't have that much. I have to get all those NBA cards out of glass and into a binder, I think. Or buy more glass, whatever. I do prefer the magnetic glass over everything else. But this definitely is a no-doubter. 10 out of 10. My guess is it's got to be at least a $100 card out of 10, maybe more. I mean, a Wild Wallaby, not one of the top most favorite characters, but probably the most popular character in Australia, I'm guessing. That's a sick hit. Yeah, 10 out of 10. All right, let's keep going, guys. Flexing Fox. Learning not to act or flex from a place of comparison. Notice the first Chrome VF. That's kind of like the rookie card logo. It's really cute. It's obviously a new character. Same with Tidy Troll. He's a rookie. Thrive by keeping things simple, structured, and stress-free. Gracious Goose. Treats others with respect and kindness, no matter the situation. Unwavering Urchin. Always focused on goals. No seesawing, no wobbling, just solid momentum. X-Fractor with his selfless sloth. Tongue twister. Knows that taking care of others begins with taking care of itself. Tenacious turkey. Refuses to quit and possesses the stamina to keep going even when others stop trying. Gracious grasshopper. Hops through the world spreading small acts of kindness and respect. Adventurous astronaut. Focuses on the endless possibilities, not what is in the way. Shout out to my daughter Kayla, Sarah Fink. She's an ambitious angel. Dreams as high as the sky with the confidence and patience to reach them. Accountable ant. Knows happiness is found by realizing you control your own life. Macho manta ray. Leads steady and strong without intimidation, uplifting everyone who swims with him. X-Factor determined dolphin. Knows progress comes from showing up, not giving up. Vibin vampire. Reads the room better than anyone else, allowing him to smoothly move through social situations. Humble hummingbird. Never over or underestimates its importance in the grand scheme of things. Maybe should I start the chat? There's no one in the chat. By the way, still waiting for people to tell me their favorite VeeFriends character. Mine is Bullish Bull and the entrepreneurial elf. The two favorites. Dapper Dashhound stands up by showing care and pride in how he shows up. Spontaneous Seahorse. Her excitement always turns moments into momentum. Focus Falcon. Zeroes in on its goals with such precision that distractions fall away. To the Moon Meerkat. Sees upside where others see risk and attacks any challenge with eyes on the moon and claws in the ground. Dope Dodo. Today's lesson, being yourself is the coolest thing you can do. Dope Dodo teaches that you don't need to change to fit in. When you embrace what makes you unique, your confidence shines, and that's what truly matters and will make you stand out. Zealous Zombie. Keeps moving no matter what falls off. Headstrong Honey Badger. Digs in under pressure and keeps going when others quit. Tolerant Tuna. Stays calm and open-minded, giving it clarity when others get spicy. Heart Trooper. Leads with heart even in the toughest moments. Wily Wild Boar. Combines clever strategies and quick thinking to outsmart opponents. Hungry Hammerhead. Knows there's only one life and limited time to act on ambitious goals. And then look who it is, the man himself, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. I have a Gary V card, and I swore I was going to keep it until I meet him one day. He'll sign it for me. So now I got to add this to my collection. I got it from This Goes in the Glass. He deserves it. He's the founder. I dedicated Volume 2 to Gary. And yeah, he's been amazing for the hobby, so big fan. Hype Horse. Turns out we're the same age. I'm a year actually older than him. It's wild. Yet he demonstrates such wisdom. I feel like he's an older figure. Brings energy that makes you believe that you can. Hype Horse. Amped. I turns darkness into an advantage, staying energetic even when others hesitate. Would have been really cool if it was a Gary V auto, right? That would have been sick. But that's still cool. Gary V, what's up, dude? Yeah, Gary Vee's been an inspiration to millions of people with all this self-help stuff. Definitely has motivated me. He teaches you things you can't learn in business school. Zestful Zebra earns its stripes by bringing contagious energy to every dazzle. Brilliant Barb glides through the depths of life with creativity, vision, and insight. Polished Poodle knows the only way to get polished is to start and keep learning. Balanced Beetle knows that life isn't about red or blue, it's about purple. That's a political statement, isn't it? Red Republican, blue Democrat, purple in the middle. X-Fractor, adaptable alien, treats every new challenge like a new planet, adjusting as he explores. Meticulous Magpie takes simple items and through dedication and detail transforms them into a beautiful nest. Jolly Jacko lights up any room with contagious joy, inspiring others to let their own light shine. Hell yeah. 2 to go in the mega. Offensive-oriented orangutan. Entirely focused on their next move and spends no energy worrying about what others are doing. Articulate armadillo has a powerful voice and uses it for spreading good. Modest moose doesn't buy things to impress people he doesn't care about. Gritty ghost fights through setbacks and doubt, returning stronger every time others think it's over. Last Standing, X-Fractor, a true survivor, effortlessly maneuvering through every toast and clink. Outgoing octopus swims into any space and quickly finds common ground with others. Capable caterpillar takes one step at a time, knowing he's on the cusp of becoming a butterfly. Last pack in the first blaster of 4. Gotta fix my posture a little bit. Loyal Lobster prioritizes long-term relationships over single interactions. Versatile Viking prepares for anything, limited by nothing. Just Jackal stands firm in who he is, never letting others sway away. Bombastic Baboon swings through life with energy, charisma, and big ideas that compel others to follow his lead. Oh, this is a balanced battle. Curious Crane and Knowing Gnome. Knowing and curiosity are different. One brings certainty, the others ask questions. But when balanced together, knowing keeps you sharp, and curiosity opens the door to new possibilities. Saying maybe keeps learning alive. Protective Panther prowls on patrol, placing themselves between danger and those they care about. Considerate Cowboy knows when to use his lasso, guiding situations with care instead of force. So, for those keeping score at home, this is blaster number 2. All right, here we go. So I've opened up a ton of Series 2, I'll be honest. It's all been documented, I'm pretty sure, throughout my pack openings. I've yet to pull anything really insane. So it must be coming soon, huh? Genuine Giraffe. Not admired for their size or status, but rather by how real and open they are to others. I mean, I guess the Wild Wallaby at 10 could be considered insane, but it's not like a super fractor. Tremendous Tiger encourages others to unleash their inner strength and charm, and chase their biggest dreams. What's great about VeeFriends is you don't have to pull a Super Fractor 101 to have fun. Even the base cards are just entertaining, as I'm proving. Brilliant Barb, Yellow Refractor, glides through the depths of life with creativity, vision, and insight. Carrying Camel always gets over the hump. Gratitude Gorilla. Keeps perspective by focusing on what's already good. Well-rounded Warthog. Broad skill set means if one path closes, it's already prepared with another. The Balanced Battle. Knowing Gnome and Curious Crane. What did we just pull? Knowing and curiosity are different. One brings certainty, the others ask questions. But when balanced together, knowing keeps you sharp, and curiosity opens the door to new possibilities. Saying maybe keeps learning alive. Prudent Polar Bear. Avoids burnout by thinking ahead and saving energy for what matters most. So in the chat, leave your favorite VeeFriends character. Honorable Ohm. I listed mine. Bullish Bull and Entrepreneurial Elf. Competitive advantage for the Ohm. Lived by their values, not by attention or reward. YOLO Yak. Ability to seize the present moment gives it opportunities others miss. Moral Monkey. Today's lesson, trust your gut. Moral Monkey teaches that when something feels wrong, your gut is trying to help you. Trust that feeling, use your voice, and be courageous, even when it's hard. Consistent Cougar. Actually enjoys what he's doing, making consistency part of his happiness. Competitive Clown. Cares about winning and losing, so gives 110% in everything he wants to win. Here's a banger, guys. This is a banger. Warm Wolverine out of 75. Creates an environment that makes anyone feel at home. Conviction Cockroach, Yellow Refractor. Survives life's hardest stomps with determination, always crawling back stronger. Sharing Squirrel. So we now hit our second numbered card, and out of 10, it's pretty insane. And then out of 75, that's pretty good. That's pretty, as Larry David would say, it's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, came out of a mega box numbered card. Those keeping score. Sensible Sommelier. Instantly knows. Okay, if I know we've pulled it, I won't read it again. Charming Cheetah. Sprint into anyone's heart with wit and charm. Polished Poodle, Yellow Refractor. Empathy Elephant. Radical Rabbit. Befuddled Burglar. Passionate Parrot. Tenacious Termite. Badass Bulldog. Observant Oyster. Authentic Anaconda. Forthright Flamingo. Speaks honestly and early, preventing bigger problems later. Monday Mole, Kind Warrior. Sincere Skunk, Tranquil Toad. Sincere Skunk earns respect by being real, not by trying to please everyone. That was quick. That was the blaster, but we did pull a really nice Warm Wolverine out of 75. Very, very nice. We'll do a recap at the end of all of our big hits. We'll do a mega box next. And then I'll put out a post and I'll create like a GIF, I have chat make me a GIF of all the best cards. Yeah, it's wild. Some nights we get 1,000 people watching. Some nights it's 15. But I'm grateful. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. If one person is watching, that's awesome. Nothing but gratitude, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you're becoming a huge fan of VeeFriends, just like I am. Well-rounded Warthog, Honorable Ohm, YOLO Yak, Competitive Clown, Knowing Gnome Megahead, Curious Crane, Spiffy Salmon. sensible sommelier, charming cheetah, radical rabbit, befuddled burglar, mojo mouse. Holds the power of charm, unwavering optimism, and building genuine relationships regardless of its size. Confident cobra, sensitive centipede. All right, we just passed the 1 hour mark. Thanks for joining me, guys. Passionate parrot, badass bulldog, observant oyster, authentic anaconda, sufficient shrimp extractor, knows how to get big results with just the right amount of effort. Growing glowworm, turnt tick. Here's my doggy. Hey, buddy. You go potty outside? I don't know. He needs to go out again. Hold on, guys. He must be hungry. He's doing this for the little treat that he gets. We'll see. Back soon. 10 minutes. Hold on. We'll see how long it takes. Duty calls. Thanks. Bye.
This month, we have some great sports card stories from across the U.S. and talk to an author from nearby Leawood, Kansas, who has written a book about returning to collecting after 3 decades away.
My day job is I'm a financial advisor, so I've been investing for over 20 years. In a way to express my love for the hobby, I decided, what if I write an investment book, Sports Card Collectors Club, and treat the stock market the same way I would treat the card market. And so I thought, well, how would a day trader invest in cards? How would a venture capitalist buy and sell cards? How would a hedge fund do it? As I would go through my trials and tribulations, I realized that for as much fun as I was having investing, there was something missing. And one day I was watching the Royals game on television, and it was a rain delay. And the Card Life television show came on. I was watching that episode, I was watching Matt Strom open cards and rip packs, and I started getting the warm, fuzzy feeling. I said, this is what I want to be doing. I want to get back to really collecting and ripping cards and building sets. And that's where the story of my book has changed. I go from investing back to collecting.
I'll also open a variety of boxes from different sports. So he hit the home run off me in like the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, JT hit a double, so he's standing on second. And Mason Wynn asked him, he's like, hey JT, he's like, I heard Strom collects cards of guys that take him deep. He's like, does that mean he's gonna send me over a couple cards to sign tomorrow?
So this is my dog Buddy. He's the reason my stream always gets interrupted. This time I think he just wanted some attention. Think he sees himself on TV? Dogs don't understand how we're talking to just a screen. I'm talking to 15 people hanging out with me. But he don't know that. Right, Buddy? So we named him Buddy because he was our second dog. We had a dog named Charlie. And at the time, I was still working at Morgan Stanley, and even though I was only commuting a mile down the road, he was home all day by himself. So the kids wanted to get a second dog, so Charlie had a Buddy, and we named our dog Buddy. Charlie has since passed away, sadly. Monday Mole, kind warrior. They were both Shih Tzu poodles, and both great dogs. Knowing gnome, thoughtful 3-horned Harpnick. Look at this, guys. Gleeful sugar glider out of $199. Spreads joy through lively energy that lights up everyone around them. Whoa. Humble hedgehog. Your poor relationship with time is your biggest vulnerability. I saw a video once where Gary Vee mentioned how the most valuable time for an entrepreneur is from 9 p.m. till midnight. You could be going to sleep, you could be watching TV, or you could be doing work and grinding. And so something to think about. Okay, so now we're talking, guys. That's the 3rd numbered card. Pretty good. Stoic Slime, Dialed In Dog, Lit Lamb, Notorious Ninja. Whoa, awesome African civet in the manga, moves with the radiant confidence of someone who knows they're great. Clever crocodile, responsive ram. All right, hold on here. I gotta take some of these NBA cards out of their glass containers so I have more available for VeeFriends. This one's gonna stay in glass though. That's whoa, or maybe not. I mean, the universe said take it out. Definitely didn't take care of my cards like this when I was a little kid. That's for sure. All right, so oh wait, hold on. So bear with me, guys, real quick. All right, back to business. Keen Kinfisher, that's new. Stay sharp by paying close attention to what others miss. Calm Clam. Productive Puffin. Whoa, just a base card, but he's special. The flagship character, the very, very lucky black cat. There is a chapter called The Very, Very Lucky Black Cat in my upcoming book, Sports Card Collectors Club, Volume 2, The Flip Life. And it's about Gary V. He's in the chapter. Aspiring Alpaca, X-Fractor, Hardworking Wombat, Wild Wallaby, which we also pulled a out of 10 of. But this is probably the only base card that's probably worthy of glass, but the Lucky Black Cat, which is the opposite, Gary Vee wanted to defang the cliche stereotype that black cats were bad luck, and now he made it good luck, and he's proven that it is. So that's sweet. Very nice. Oh, gotta get back to the chat. Quiet chat tonight. That's cool. Serious Sperm Whale, Resilient Red Devil, Sufficient Shrimp, my favorite guy, Entrepreneurial Elf, Genuine Giraffe X-Fractor, Gifted Gopher, believes their gifts are meant to be shared. Truculent T-Rex. Last pack from the Mega. Second one. The Oak Monster, Genuine Giraffe, Tremendous Tiger, Grateful Gorilla, Stoic Slime, Dope Dodo, Suffocate Hate. Stoic Slime, detachment from noise, doesn't hear the cheering or the booing. Let's do another Mega. So my book, The Pokemon Gods Are Real, is now on pre-sale. It's #1 on the new releases on a couple of different categories so far, so thank you for that. I wouldn't have discovered Pokemon if it wasn't for Gary Vee and VeeFriends. And it really begs the question, should I write a book called The VeeFriends Gods Are Real? It actually would be really fun to do. Dynamic dinosaur, swaggy sea lion, eager eagle, tolerant tortoise, modest moose megahead, well-connected werewolf, hotshot hornet. Modest moose for the win. He's cute. Probably a very popular card in Canada. Gracious grizzly bear, warm wolverine, helpful hippo, woke walrus, meticulous magpie X Factor. He's cute. You're gonna die fly, and adaptable alien. Flies through life knowing that tomorrow isn't promised. Takes simple items and through dedication and detail, transformed them into a beautiful nest. That was the meticulous magpie. Whoa. That could have been bad. VeeFriends gods intervened. Hustling hamster, last standing, determined dolphin, stunned sun, impeccable an astronaut, selfless sloth, chill chinchilla, knows when to let things roll off. Bubbly buzzard, positive porcupine, be the bigger person, organized ostrich, courageous cockatoo out of 150, knows fear isn't a stop sign, it's a sign to keep going because you're leaving your comfort zone. That is a cute card. Respectful raccoon, big game bandicoot. Oops, sorry. Lo-fi Jonathan Fink technology here, just using my iPhone. But another numbered card, we're starting to really get cooking here. That's our fourth one. Running short on supplies. Competitive clown, sensible sommelier, charming cheetah, radical rabbit, ooh, flexing fox with a manga, prudent polar bear, consistent cougar. We're gonna need more glass. That's a cute, cute card. We're doing great with the mangas tonight. Here, hold on, let me take some more from. Oh, there we go. We have two more to take. I've never been that infatuated with autographs or on-cut autos, but that being said, this John Sunville one is really cool. There we go. You follow burglar, passionate parrot, badass bulldog, observant oyster, X-Fractor, amped IE, Sharon squirrel, empathy elephant. Authentic anaconda, Monday mole, kind warrior, knowing gnome, fearless fairy X-Fractor, Let's read that one. Fearless because she doesn't worry about other people's opinions. Tenacious termite, forthright flamingo. Last pack from the third of the 4 mega boxes. Emptying my inventory tonight. After this, all I have left are my just random assorted packs that I've accumulated from like shows and shops and whatever. I have all my junk wax that will be for a volume 4 book if I so choose to write it. And then after that, I'll focus on all the packs and boxes, a lot of high boxes, for example, to rip. That's part of my storyline for the Card Life Volume 3, which I will be writing in the months ahead. Thoughtful Three-Horn Harpnick, Intuitive Iguana, Courageous Cockatoo, Skilled Skeleton, Resilient Red Devil, Tranquil Toad, Grateful Gar. Gratitude is so important. Let's read it. Stays grounded by appreciating what they have instead of chasing what they don't. All right, let's just rip that last mega. Of course, as I mentioned, high ceiling, maybe low floor. Sorry, high floor, low ceiling. Because you're guaranteed a mega head, which is a really cool card. So you're gonna get at least something. It's that should be a $10 card at a minimum to help recoup some of this $60 you spent on them. I forget. I don't even remember anymore how much these cost. Now with Topps Chrome Basketball, you're not paying $85 retail for a mega. Price inflation continues to become a hot topic issue in the hobby. How can a kid who's who's mowing lawns afford a mega box? Sensible Sommelier, Charming Cheetah, Radical Rabbit, Befuddled Burglar, Mr. Beast, Perspective Pigeon, Caring Camel. Always gets over the hump. Just a Mr. Beast base card. If I pulled a Mr. Beast auto, that could be quite a flip candidate. The most popular, biggest YouTuber in the world. Well-rounded Warthog, Honorable Ohm, YOLO Yak, Competitive Clown. Whoa, another banger. Self-aware Hare out of 250. By knowing their weaknesses, they stop wasting energy and double down on what they're built for. I love the color. Mint Mink, Boss Bobcat. I think it's more purple than pink, but maybe it's pink. That reminds me, Michaela Bear is coming on my show, Sports Card Collectors Club podcast tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. She loves pink cards. She's a super collector. She's a really cool gal, and I'm excited to have her on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. She's also a Cleveland Indians season ticket holder in left field, which I think is super cool. Much respect for that. The Oak Monster, Genuine Giraffe, Tremendous Tiger, Gratitude Gorilla, Swaggy Sea Lion X-Fractor, Magnanimous Maltese, Arbitraging Admirable. I haven't had a bust pack like that in a long time. We've got some good pack luck tonight, I have to say. Okay, so we've filled up this whole thing of... Oh, I still got some more room, actually. Hold on. Resilient Red Devil, Sufficient Shrimp, one of my favorites, Entrepreneurial Elf, Decisive Duck, we haven't seen that OG yet. By choosing quickly, it creates momentum while others stall. Whoa, and look at this guy, we rarely pull this one. Ponder it from all angles, X-Fractor. Thinks in 360 to make the best decision. Joyous Jellyfish, Amiable Anchovy. Let's go. Some really cute characters. All right, now this is filled up. We get another one of these holders. My sweet dog is just chilling on the other side there. Let me show you. Probably wondering who I'm talking to. My sweet buddy boy. All right, next pack. Calm Clam, Productive Puffin, another Lucky Black Cat, Serious Sperm Whale, and then the Mega Head, Common Sense Cow, Likeable Leopard, Motivated Monster. We need more glass. We need more glass. Hold on. Need more stands. We're cooking tonight, guys. I remember when Series 1 came out, people were really freaking out over the black cat and the different variations of the colored eyes. And these were going for $100 a pop, for real. I don't think that's the case with Series 2, however. Okay, hold on, I have an idea. Most of these NBA cards from my Lost Franchises set are probably worth very, very little compared to some of these numbered cards, right? Ironically. So we'll put these in top loaders and in penny sleeves to free up some more magnetic glass for big hits. I think because I have a chapter about the Lucky Black Cat, even the second base has got to go in the gallery. Dale Ellis has been so good on my NBA 2K team. Just had a feeling him and John Sunville would be dominating with 3-pointers, and it has happened. But it's fun because I also have Dominic Wilkins and Tree Rollins, so I can do some pick and roll, and that's a lot of fun too. And then when I'm not doing that, I do run plays and set those two guys up for 3-pointers all the time. And I think our record is 9-2 so far this season in season 1. I had to turn over the entire roster of the Kansas City Kings to make a competitive team. I had to give up a lot of my future draft picks, but it was worth it. In my Simpson College Football 27 simulation, I'm rebuilding from Louisiana Monroe. I converted to Simpson, so I'm playing with the worst team in all college football. It's been a very tough, slow rebuild. And then in the Republic Baseball League, I'm playing with an expansion team. I took the Oakland A's and I liquidated them. And then I literally started with just free agents from the to build an expansion team. So I'm only in year 2 and I'm 2-20. So, it's been tough sledding, but I'm enjoying the grind, man. I'm enjoying the rebuild. All right, back to the cards. Like I said, playing video games for me is like meditation. Dialed In Dog, Lit Lamb, Notorious Ninja, King Kingfisher, Whimsical Wolf. Imagination, thinking differently, and staying playful keeps his mind lit up. Mojo Mouse, Mindful Minakawa. That wolf is super cute, and we should definitely at least give one of these inserts into the gallery. Two packs to go in the last mega. Compassionate catfish, detail-oriented Dumbo octopus, self-aware hare, stoic slime, dynamic dinosaur extractor reads, stomps through the rough parts of life with limitless versatility, ready for any challenge. Persuasive pigeon, aspiring alpaca. Cute one. Last pack magic. Let's do it. Come on, mega box. Gleeful sugar glider, trusting tarantula, forgiving horned frog, tough to beat a worm from the dirt, gentle giant extractor. Gary mentioned how these cards are going to go up in value soon because I think they're going to feature this guy in a new comic book. His competitive advantage has great strength, but chooses to use it for protecting, not overpowering. Reliable rat and the brave bison. We haven't put a extractor in the gallery yet. Let's put our first one with the gentle giant. All right, time flies when you're having fun. We're almost at the 90-minute mark, and we have 3 blaster boxes to go. So let me take a quick break, and then we'll rip the final 3. Be right back, guys. Enjoy this loop, the highlights of my podcast and my episode on the car life. I'll be right back, guys. You guys take care. Hold on. Back soon.
This month, we have some great sports card stories from across the U.S. and talk to an author from nearby Leawood, Kansas, who has written a book about returning to collecting after 3 decades away.
My day job is I'm a financial advisor, so I've been investing for over 20 years. In a way to express my love for the hobby, I decided, what if I write an investment book, Sports Card Collectors Club, and treat the stock market the same way I would treat the card market. And so I thought, well, how would a day trader invest in cards? How would a venture capitalist buy and sell cards? How would a hedge fund do it? As I would go through my trials and tribulations, I realized that for as much fun as I was having investing, there was something missing. And one day I was watching the Royals game on television, and it was a rain delay. And the Card Life television show came on. I was watching that episode, I was watching Matt Strom open cards and rip packs, and I started getting the warm, fuzzy feeling. I said, this is what I want to be doing. I want to get back to really collecting and ripping cards and building sets. And that's where the story of my book has changed. I go from investing back to collecting.
I'll also open a variety of boxes from different sports. So he hit the home run off me in like the 7th inning. And then in the 8th inning, JT hit a double, so he's standing on second. And Mason Wynn asked him, he's like, hey JT, he's like, I heard Strom collects cards of guys that take him deep. He's like, does that mean he's gonna send me over a couple cards to sign tomorrow? And after the game, we had won. I mean, winning is the only thing that's important to me. So it's like, I was good after the game, whatever, and JT comes up to me and he's like, hey Stromy, he was really genuine. Like he wasn't taking shots. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, when I got to second, Mason asked if you're gonna send a card over for him.
I'm just looking around my basement here, just walls covered with concert posters and toys, and just like, I have no intention of selling these things. I collect because I want to show off the things I love and do it in fun ways. And it just never crossed my mind that, hey, I'm going to go buy this thing just so I can resell it. Like that to me isn't a pure collector mentality. And obviously things change and times change. And, in order for things to survive right now, you have to have that sort of chase for something valuable.
Yeah, it needs to be a circus. You know what? The truth is, I actually watched the live stream on eBay Live with Ken Golden and Logan Paul. They ripped a box of 86 Flair and a box of Series 1 Pokemon. And you know what? It was very entertaining. They're both polarizing characters. I thought it was entertaining. But you know what? After every pull, they immediately are showing the value. And it begs the question, are we creating, not we, is the industry creating a gambling culture which has a real downside?
It already has. Right. Not created. It's here.
Yeah, and
That's what breaking is.
that's a concern. I guess for me, I hope to be an influence where we focus more on collecting, because you know what, when markets crash, collectors don't get hurt at all. Because the Sandy Koufax you bought that because it makes you feel good. It brings back good memories.
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight.
You have created community, so let's talk about that. I went to Rip Night at your shop. Let's rip it on the pack. And I went to your Rip Night 2 years ago, and it was one of the best. I wrote about it in volume 1. It was one of the best times I've ever had. You guys had this giant scoreboard where you had the chase cards, and everyone can buy whatever product you wanted, like buy 3 get 1 free, whatever product, whatever it was. You then, if you pull a Bronny James, you then get another blaster. Or I pulled a Reed Shepherd auto, and then I got a free T-shirt. And I sat around the table with strangers and had the best time ever. So let's talk about how important community is, and what you guys do is provide an anchor for community in our town. How important that is.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, one of our taglines, we say we'll make an offer on anything, but like you said, I mean, we got to pay what it's worth, and so if it's junk wax, it's going to be junk wax prices, which unfortunately, a lot of people end up thinking that their 87 Topps Barry Bonds is going to be a couple $100 or
it's
something.
worth nothing, people.
Brand and notoriety. And so when you're pitching these stories to these athletes, like I've reached out to a couple of different athletes about writing a potential article about their collections and having them kind of share their story. And it's like, yes, like I write for Collectibles on SI, which is under the Sports Illustrated umbrella. It does carry weight. Like it does, people recognize that brand. It is important. And so I'm super grateful that I've been given the opportunity to write for that staff.
The top segment that was done by you on you was so well produced, right? Did all that come from the conversation you had with Michael Rubin? Is that how that put you on the map to such an extent that all those opportunities happened? How did that happen? Did you get a call one day?
Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight with a pack in hand and a story that bites.
I didn't even collect when I was 3 years old, like when this card came out, but he just pulled a good one. Roman Anthony, from Dempsey. I love Wichita State.
Yeah.
I would have been thrilled if he went to Tulane, but his parents have roots in Nebraska. So for him, it was coming home. And so Nebraska got a good one. And so I'm not surprised that program's on the rise, because they got a great stadium. They have great resources. They got a great fan base with people like you. And their recruiting is fantastic. They're finding the talented kids. So
yeah,
in fact, the Big Ten.
So yeah, Will Bolt, the head coach, he actually played at Nebraska when I was traveling with the Nebraska team in the late '90s. He was down at Texas A&M when I worked at Texas A&M. Rob Childress is the pitching coach, and I was on the hiring committee that hired him away from Nebraska to come down at Texas A&M, and they're thrilled that he's back here in Nebraska. He's a genius. The number of players in pro ball right now that went through Rob Childress, so he'll be under good guidance when he gets up here to Nebraska. They're good people.
One kid found a mantle in the rain. One old friend came back.
All right, thanks for your patience, guys. Back for the home stretch. 3 more blasters to go. We'll do a recap when we're done. We started with 4 megas and 5 blasters, also not known as value boxes. And it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of success. 2 black cats, 4 mega heads, and a bunch of numbered cards. So it's been really productive. It's been a lot of fun, and I definitely have a lot of cards to flip. And nothing really to PC, because I have all the cards that I really want. I already PC'd the Lucky Black Cat. But I already have the Entrepreneurial Elf from Series 2 in my PC, who I super collect. I would, however, love a Bullish Bull numbered card or an Entrepreneurial Elf numbered card. And frankly, now that I think about it, I would love those characters as mega heads too. That won't happen tonight, but I can just buy them on eBay. All right, 3 to go. 3 to go. Oh my God. So it turns out, guys, I was on the private chat section. I now realize that there was a common section, and I totally missed Drew FTV. Cheers, welcome back, Drew. Good to see you, my friend. We had Albert Calante 239. Do you go to card shows? The answer is absolutely yes. I love card shows. I'll be at the National next year for sure, 100%. But locally, I go to a lot of card shows. I was at the show in Lee Summit, Missouri, last weekend. All my Saturday afternoon, I was there. I usually go live on TikTok, and I even took a video of some kid buying a mystery pack at the last one. So yeah, I love card shows. I love giving out books at card shows after I get into a conversation with someone, just like some random person who's a fellow collector or someone I buy a card from, and I give them a signed book and take their picture and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. Alberta's writing and paints a card show in Pasadena September 5th. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm based in Kansas City, so I mostly go to the local shows. We have a lot of good local shows here, but I am going to be going to the National Card Show next year, which will be a lot of fun. And now that I've been doing a podcast, I've made so many friends now in the hobby, and it'll be cool to run into everybody in Chicago. Well-rounded warthog. Yes, I cannot believe I didn't realize I was on the wrong chat. There's a private chat thing, and I typed that in, so that's on me, guys. My bad. I'm still learning at this. Honorable Ohm, Patient Pig, Candid Clownfish. Let me type it in the chat. Thanks for joining, everyone. Grateful. Yeah, I really am grateful, guys. 14 with me tonight at this point. It's late. It's past midnight. It's a work night. It's summertime, so people could just be chilling, but it doesn't really matter. I'm grateful. Whoa, I see a big card coming. Yellow Yak. Knowing Gnome out of 50. So we really have had some really good cards tonight. I don't even know if this many cards will fit into my chat GPT to make a GIF because I've had so many good cards. But this one is sweet. Alert 8, Profound Possum. So I've been spoiled. I pulled 2 101s during Series 1, although I did buy a shit ton of boxes. But the best card I've pulled so far was an out of 10, which happened tonight. So I'll show that card at the end. So the VeeFriend gods have definitely been good to us tonight. Hopefully I've been entertaining, fun to hang out with, but certainly the cards have been good. That's a really nice looking. Look at that. That's a nice looking card, man, for sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we've pulled 6 numbered cards now. That's terrific. All right, here we go. Still got plenty to go. We're on the third to last box. Competitive Clown, Sensible Sommelier, King Kingfisher, Conviction Cockroach. Survives life's hardest stumps with determination, always crawling back stronger. Charming Cheetah, Radical Rabbit, Befuddled Burglar, Sincere Skunk. Earns respect by being real, not by trying to please everyone. Such wisdom in this universe of characters, guys. I don't even want to call it a product. It's so much more than that. Passionate Parrot, Badass Bulldog, Observant Oyster, Earnest Ermine, that's new. Puts in real effort, not just the appearance of effort. Authentic Anaconda, Monday Mole, Yellow Refractor of Macro Micro, Tasteful Malayan Tampere, knows when to walk away and choose only what adds value. Yeah, it's tough with friends. Sometimes you have to walk away from friends that become toxic. It happens in life. You think your friendships will last forever, but a lot of times friendships just go through seasons in your life, and it's okay to to move on to new friends. Kind warrior, knowing gnome, calm clam, and a gentle giant base. Last pack of the third to last value box / blaster box. Thoughtful three-horn harpnick, intuitive iguana, humble hedgehog, ponder it all from all angles base. All right, 2 to go, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I know VeeFriends is not for everybody. If I was ripping Topps Chrome and Cooper Flag was still available, his double patch, his rookie patch auto, we got 1,000 people in here. But it's a random Monday night, and it's just VeeFriends, and the passionate VeeFriends fans are somewhere else tonight, I guess, which is okay. But I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And whether you're watching me in bed, watching me while you're eating ice cream on the kitchen counter, watching me on your couch like you watch television, whatever you're doing, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm grateful. I spend a lot of time watching other YouTubers, and I don't take for granted any of you. I'm grateful for all of you. Hold on, new comments. What? Oh, the new comment was me. Headstrong honey badger, will for a wizard, selfless sloth, kind warrior. Let's read the wizard. Capable of forging his own path in this world and others. Ooh, hell yeah. I love it. Bullish Bull, my guy. Practical Peacock, Authentic Anaconda, Knowing Gnome. Let's read that. Understands that real knowing comes from paying attention to people, to patterns, and to yourself. So one of my episodes of the Sports Card Collectors Club podcast, I had Matt Vinyls on from Dapper Labs, NBA Top Shot, and he opened Top Shot packs, digital packs. I opened VeeFriends. My goal is to convert him into a VeeFriend lover, and I think I did. Boisterous Beaver, Perfect Persian Cat, Bad Intentions, Thoughtful Three-Horn Harpnick. Thinks beyond the moment, chooses what will matter later, not just now. Hey, I'm just curious. Let me know, where are you watching this? Are you watching this on Twitter? Are you watching this on my channel, the Sports Card Collectors Club? Or are you watching on the Collecting and Connecting Network? Let me know. I'm curious. Noble Numbat, Rare Robot, Legendary Lemur, Intuitive Iguana. I'm always curious how people find the show. Decisive Duck, Independent Inchworm, Chill Chinchilla, Courageous Cockatoo. Knows fear isn't a stop sign, it's a sign to keep going because you're leaving your comfort zone. Clever Crocodile, Responsive Ram, Monday Mole, Skilled Skeleton. Talents that are clean as a bone. Hardworking Wombat, Wild Wallaby, Tolerant Tuna Manga. Stays calm and open-minded, giving it clarity when others get spicy. Dynamic Dinosaur. I love the manga. Best design in the set. I'm not building any sets right now for VeeFriends Series 2. If I did, it would be a whole manga set. Gifted Gopher, Trunculent T-Rex. Knows that staying still turns you into a fossil, so moves fast and strikes first to avoid extinction. Cynical Cat in chalk. Don't let doubt win. Cynical Cat teaches that thinking this won't work can stop you before you even start, but believing maybe it will work opens much more possibility and opportunity. He's cute, even though he's an angry, cynical cat. Swaggy sea lion. Several cat characters in this set. All right, guys, this is it. We're at 1 hour and 45 minutes. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. There was a time when 2 hours was my longest ever rip session. I've now surpassed that. I did a 3-hour rip session. I don't even remember if it was the VeeFriends or Topps Chrome Basketball when we did that. So this is not the longest, but it was a good one. We had some really good hits. I'll show them all in a minute. So we'll be done at the 2-hour mark, I guess. But you know what? It's nice to finish when I still feel energized. You know, sometimes when it's like a 3-hour rip, it's like at the end, I'm just exhausted. You know. But yeah, this was fun. Dude, I was on I'm a recurring guest on the High Hard One podcast, on the Collecting and Connecting Podcast Network. Not sports cards, just baseball, straight talk. We had almost 20,000 people watch our show last night. So go check out that video. That's really cool. And then tomorrow night we'll see. You know, Michaela Bear, she has a really loyal following. So I'm curious to see if we break the record. I think I had 3,000 viewers my very, very first episode with Brandon Verzel. And we've gotten to 1,000 and then 2,000 a couple times so far. But Michaela could be a real hit. We'll see. I'm excited. I noticed when she does Twitter, she gets like 100 likes. You know, when most people get like, you know, I get like 1 or 2, maybe none. Awesome, African Civet, Moral Monkey, Patient Pig, Perspective Pigeon. So yeah, so sometimes when it, you know, I have my own following, people who watch my show on a regular basis, I guess, my friends and whoever, my people, my community peeps. But then the guest has a huge following too. Sometimes, you know, not always, but Michaela I think does. Like a Sponge, Fearless Fairy, boom! It's a sign from the universe. It's pink. And if you guys know, Michaela loves pink. Look at this, Alert 8, our second pink of the rip session. The universe knows Michaela's coming on my show tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Boom, shakalaka, out of 250, the Alert 8 swings through obstacles with razor-sharp instincts. Yeah. We finishing strong, people. Karen Camel. For me, yeah, the number, the scarcity, that is a component of it. That definitely gives you some dopamine. But what I like is it's the parallel. It's the alternative art. It's the insert. It's the different design. It's the color. That's what I appreciate. When you look at all the base cards over and over again, and then you get something different, you know, different from the mundane, it's exciting. That's what we love about, you know, one of the magical things about ripping packs that we love. The unpredictability. You don't ever know what's next. Because basically, that was the core reason why I wanted to write the book, The Pokemon Gods Are Real, is because of that idea, that magic, that feeling, that mystery, that hope, the faith. Impeccable Inostronaut, Creative Crab, Practical Peacock, Yellow Refractor, Prudent Polar Bear. Avoids burnout by thinking ahead and saving energy for what matters most. Slaying Slug, Faithful Pheasant, Polished Poodle, Consistent Cougar, actually enjoys what he's doing, making consistency part of his happiness. Yeah, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. It's true. The world has plenty of love. Start listening to it. Forever Phoenix, let's read it. Rides again and again, turning every fallback into new beginning. Balanced battle, humble hedgehog, confident cobra. Confident and humility seem opposed. A bold presence versus a modest one. But when balanced together, confidence gives you courage to step forward and humility to keep grounded enough to keep learning. Confidence gets you in the room, but humility is what makes you great once you're there. Sharing Squirrel. All right, we're not going to probably pull another one of these. We should have one in the gallery, don't you think? It's a cool insert for the balanced battles. I'm not sure they have a lot of money in the value in the market. Although, could you imagine if there was a Bullish Bull Entrepreneurial Elf balance battle, my two favorite characters? That would be Sick in a good way. All right, 3 to go. Let's do this. Let's finish strong. Although we've had a lot of success. It's been a very good rip. It's been very entertaining. A lot of cool cards. Tolerant Tuna, Heart Trooper, Common Sense Cow. Trust your instincts. Common Sense Cow teaches that best choices are often the simple ones, the kind that just feel right when you take a moment to think things through. Let's give 1 chalk to the gallery. Common Sense Cow, welcome. Empathy Elephant. Definitely should celebrate all the different style designs. Inserts make card collecting and ripping packs so much fun. Yeah. So now I think we've highlighted all the different inserts that we've pulled at least once. 2 to go. Let's see how we do. Wily Wild Boar, Hungry Hammerhead, Boisterous Beaver, Tenacious Termite. Let's read the Boisterous Beaver. Leads from the ground up, moving fast and using pure enthusiasm to pull others forward. All right, guys. Finishing with 14. And I'm grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. You know, I got a little spoiled. We did a few of my rip sections got into the thousands, but the truth is, it should have been probably like 14 in the beginning. So it's kind of reversed. But I don't even care what the number is. If one person's here, that's great. 14 is even better. You know, 20,000 last night. I mean, come on, I'm grateful. Last pack, let's finish strong, and then we'll do a quick recap of all the cards we pulled. Zestful Zebra, Brilliant Barb, Balanced Beetle, Forthright Flamingo. Let's read the beetle. Knows that life isn't about red or blue, it's about purple. Let's read Brilliant Barb. Glides through the depths of life with creativity, vision, and insight. Forthright Flamingo. Speaks honestly and early, preventing bigger problems later. And then the Zestful Zebra. How appropriate to finish with Z for zebra, like we went to the alphabet. Earns its stripes by bringing contagious energy to every dazzle. All right. Let me turn off the second camera. Now let's do a recap. So, if you weren't familiar with VeeFriends, I hope you now understand VeeFriends. I hope I turned you into a lover. Let's show you our favorite cards. Common Sense Cow in chalk. A balanced battle between the humble hedgehog and the confident cobra. We got, I don't know what these are called. I forget what this design is called, but they're great, really pretty. Then we got a few mangas. These are my favorite card design. They really shine. Flexing Fox. Dedicated Dragonfly. Used to be the Daring Dragonfly in Series 1. Awesome African Civet manga. And then the Tolerant Tuna. Then, of course, you get the Mega Heads. I think 3 of them, of the 4, made the gallery. We have the Modest Moose, the Knowing Gnome, Common Sense Cow, the founder, the genius behind it all, Gary V. Shout out to Gary V. Dedicate my new book, The Flip Life Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 2 to Gary. So shout out to you, buddy. Well done. You've really created a really brilliant product. So I really am really proud of you. I hope I can be an ambassador to VeeFriends and spread the message for you and this universe of characters for years to come. We got 2 Black Cats chapter in my upcoming book about Gary V and Lucky Black Cat. They're in the same chapter, but the chapter is called The Very, Very Lucky Black Cat. That December 1st, already on pre-sale, so pre-order that thing, dude. Go do it. Knock it to number 1. And then holy moly, guys, look at these numbered cards. Now, I remember we opened up a dozen or so blasters of Topps Chrome basketball, and I went like 6 blasters without one card worthy of the gallery. So it's like when I show you all these, it's just incredible. Not in any particular order. Alert Ape at a 250. Knowing Gnome at a 50. Sweet. Oh, sorry, this one's not numbered. It's just the Gentle Giant X-Fractor. Had to have one X-Fractor in there. Shout out to Michaela Bear, my guest tomorrow night on my show, Sports Card Collectors Club Podcast, on this network right here, Collecting and Connecting, and also on my channel, Sports Card Collectors Club. And this is she loves pink, so shout out to you, Michaela. This is the Self-Aware Hair at a 250. Courageous Cockatoo at a 150. Good looking card. The Gleeful Sugar Glider out of 199. The Warm Wolverine at a 75. And then maybe it's in some kind of order because the biggest hit of the night, and I'm curious to find out what it's worth. Definitely, I'm going to flip it and put an advertisement, a bunch of my new books like the Pokemon Gods Real into all those inserts for all these cards that I flip on eBay. But the big winner tonight out of 10, probably the lowest numbered card I've pulled in a very long time. In the lowest of Series 2. I did pull 2 1-of-1s in Series 1. But we got the Wild Wallaby in black out of 10. And of course, it's the 10 out of 10. That's just sweet. So that's the perfect way to end it as we come to the 2-hour mark. We were up to 4 mega boxes and 5 blasters. That's a lot of packs. But we had a lot of winners tonight. So I'm very, very grateful to the non-sports card gods. Shout out to Gary V. Shout out to all the employees at VeeFriends that bring this product to us each and every day in new ways. And I can't wait to go to a booth for VeeFriends next year at the National. I will be there for sure. To all the people in the chat tonight, Alberta, Calente, and Drew, FTV, all you guys, thank you so much. Just appreciate all of you, and we'll do this again soon. In fact, we might have like one or two more random. No, I think we're done. I'll save all that stuff for like my Car Life Chronicles, and my interview show. The rest of the stuff we're gonna rip is from my Card Life book from here on out. There might be a few exceptions. This for sure was the last big mega rip of just some stuff that I love. There will be more VeeFriends in the Car Life Chronicles series. In fact, we'll do 3 different rips of VeeFriends. One happens to be Series 2, and then 2 different sticker products of theirs. That'll be a lot of fun. I just love VeeFriends, and I'll explain a little bit as we go on how it fits into a storyline of the book. But yeah, Volume 1 came out last year, December. Sports Card Collectors Club Volume 1. It's been successful. It's in the top 50 on Amazon, something like that. The Flip Life comes out on December 1st, now on pre-sale. Then I have Pokemon Gods Are Real, also on pre-sale, now number 1 on the pre-sale list on new releases on Amazon. That officially comes out September 16th with the 30th anniversary of Pokemon coming out. And then the Card Life Volume 3, I've already written in my mind and laid out the whole storyline, but we got to now open all the packs to fulfill fulfill that part of the story as well. Because ripping packs and sharing the stories is part of it. The difference is this time, I'm going to put it all on video, which I regret not doing the first time around. So anyway, I really appreciate all you guys joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed all these VeeFriend rips and you enjoyed the big hits. And I just want to say I'm nothing but gratitude for joining me. Thank you so much. And as always, God bless.
He pulled a stain from a shoebox lid. Said this one traded for my first big win. Jonathan Fink on the line tonight with a pack in hand and a story that bites. Old paper, new spark, name on the card. From basement deals to a full-on star. Collecting